I'm still here because you can't do your job.
It's really important that you remember that it's not your job to fix or change people. And one of the best reasons to learn about attachment styles is so that you can learn more about yourself and how you relate to other people. One user says, the worst part is when we don't realize how our anxious behavior is a big part of the dynamic. It took me months to realize how I triggered everything. And while I appreciate your willingness to take responsibility for your part of the circumstances of that relationship, it doesn't all fall to you. It takes two people. Someone else says, we triggered a lot in them, but they also triggered things in us. It's a double slap on both. The original commenter says, I can only control how I act and what I feel in my relationship, as well as communicate my feelings and needs instead of resorting to protest behavior. Now it's time for me to try and control the shame and regret of not showing up as I should have. It's important to give yourself grace as you continue to do this inner healing work. You've cultivated enough self-awareness to be able to recognize when you're emotionally activated. You also recognize and take ownership of how you're showing up in that relationship and how that can make other people feel. Good, bad, or indifferent. And this is actually a really great place to be because you can start using tools of resilience. Maybe you learn some breath work and you can say time out and step back and actually take that deep nasal inhale in and release. You might remind your partner, I love you, I care about you, but let's put a pin in this so that we can come back to it in an hour or maybe tomorrow. Not maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow. Now you're in this place where it's like, all right, cool. I'm not used to this, but we're actually working through this. We're making things happen, and I actually don't feel as bad as I have in the past. All of a sudden, you feel a little bit more confident having those conversations that might have been extremely difficult in the past that you ignored them. When you allow yourself to dive into personal development and self-discovery, you begin to realize that it's not your job to fix or change people. You may begin to realize that your partner just doesn't have the same emotional capacity that you do. And then there's another question you have to ask yourself. Can you love them anyway? They never change in the next 50 years. Can you love them as they are? Begin to have appreciation and see the beauty in the imperfection. Also become so good with yourself that you don't necessarily require all the validation that you used to. You also begin to take on the self-confidence like Deion Sanders. I've been him. I'm good with me. I don't need you to be good with me. I'm so good with me that I can allow you to be you and still love you. To still work on this relationship with you. Remember, your relationship isn't one-sided, and it takes two people with reciprocal effort. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the 21-day self-love challenge in my stories. We start October 1st.